My parents threw me out when I was only 13, leaving me on the porch with 2 garbage bags filled with my clothes. 15 years later, those same parents walked into my uncle's will reading expecting to inherit millions. They arrived with an expensive lawyer and confident smiles, completely unaware that the daughter they abandoned was about to inherit everything. My name is Diana Myers. Growing up, I always felt like my older sister Tiffany was the child my mother truly wanted. Tiffany received expensive birthdays, a college savings account, and constant praise. I was simply expected to stay quiet and adapt. Then, at 13, I won a full scholarship to a 6-week science program. My mother demanded that I give it up so Tiffany could attend an expensive performing arts camp. When I refused, she told me that if I could not sacrifice for the family, I was not part of it. 3 days later, I came home and found my belongings packed into garbage bags. My mother told me Uncle Harold was coming to get me. My father stood silently behind her while Tiffany watched from her bedroom window. I waited outside for hours until Harold arrived from Seattle. He saw me beside those bags, hugged me, and simply said, "You have a home now." That night changed my life. Harold had built a successful real estate company from nothing. He supported my education and believed in every dream I had. I graduated at the top of my class, earned a finance degree, became a CPA, and eventually became CFO of his company. For 15 years, my biological family barely contacted me, and when they did, they usually wanted something. Then Harold became seriously ill. Before his death, he quietly updated his will. He never told me what was inside. When he passed away, I was holding his hand. A week later, my mother called. She pretended to offer condolences, but quickly revealed that she had hired a lawyer to challenge Harold's will. She claimed I had manipulated him while he was sick. I met with Harold's estate attorney, Margaret Morrison, and she showed me a document from 15 years earlier. My parents had voluntarily surrendered their parental rights and transferred my guardianship to Harold. They had not simply abandoned me. They had legally given me away, and Harold had later legally adopted me. I refused to settle. If my parents wanted to challenge the will, I wanted the truth revealed publicly. At the will reading, my mother arrived expecting a fortune. When the estate value was announced, she smiled. Then, Margaret began reading Harold's instructions. He documented my father's unpaid debt and the legal surrender of my parents' rights. My mother immediately accused me of turning Harold against them. I calmly reminded her that she had made her choice 15 years earlier, when she left a 13-year-old girl outside with garbage bags and signed those papers. Then Margaret reached the most important clause. Harold had left his entire estate to his legally adopted daughter, me. My mother's face turned completely white, Margaret. Then read a letter Harold had left for me. He wrote that I had arrived at his home frightened and broken, but had transformed my pain into strength. He said he was not leaving me his fortune because I needed it. He was leaving it because I had earned his trust and because I was his daughter in every way that mattered. My mother suddenly begged me to reconsider and asked if we could divide the inheritance. I looked at her and told her she had given up the right to call herself my mother. 15 years ago, her lawyer's attempt to fight collapsed when Margaret revealed that he had previously represented Harold and had a serious conflict of interest. He left the room, and my parents were left with nothing. Weeks later, my mother emailed asking for another chance. I'd already forgiven her for my own peace, but forgiveness did not mean reconciliation. I told her I did not want a relationship and asked her to respect my decision. Then Tiffany contacted me. She admitted that she had watched me sitting outside with those garbage bags the night I was abandoned. She could have come downstairs, but she stayed behind the window. For the first time, someone from my biological family admitted the truth without excuses or requests for money. Eventually, I agreed to speak with Tiffany once a month. We started carefully, with simple conversations and clear boundaries. We were not suddenly a perfect family, but this time, I was choosing what happened next. 1 year after the will reading, I stood outside the first building Harold had ever purchased. His company was thriving, his charitable work continued, and I had created a STEM scholarship for children from difficult family situations. Standing there, I finally understood what Harold had truly left me. It was not the millions, it was the belief that I was worthy of being loved. My parents abandoned me when I was 13. Harold chose me when I had nothing. And in the end, the man who was not my biological father became the person who taught me what family was supposed to mean.